and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Wednesday evening in Arlington, Texas, it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. And tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Texas Rangers in Game 3 of a 4-game set from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Yankees won last night. A good game for them. They've evened up the series at a game apiece. Game 3 tonight. So let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this one. Hyun-Jin Young is going to get the start for the Texas Rangers. 4 games. This would be his second start. And Corey Kluber for the Yankees, 3-2 with a 3.48 ERA. And Kluber has some reinforcements in the lineup behind him today, and that is Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres coming off the COVID IL, 7 days. He missed 6 games, but before he went on the IL, Paul, he was starting to really hit.
He really was. I mean, he was really turning his whole game around, and it's always good to get your everyday players back. Gleyber Torres is your shortstop. He's been making the plays. All of a sudden, you see him starting to spray the ball around a little bit, going the other way. And finally, I think everything stems from that first home run on Mother's Day with the big bat. I think that will take that big monkey off his back and get things going. Hopefully, he's not rusty. He can come back and help immediately.
All right, in the first 16 games of the year for Gleyber, just 186, 2 extra base hits. But in the last 17, as Paul said, picking it up, 277, 4 extra base hits, drove in 9, and in 5 multi-hit games. In fact, a lot of the Yankees are starting to feel it. They're starting to rate big hits, big moments. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees Rangers next, right here on Yes. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. By Cadillac. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer and experience the ultimate in iconic luxury. And by FanDuel, there's more ways to win on FanDuel. Crowd filing into Globe Life Field. Some nice drinks there, but as you enjoy the drink, Paul's going to give you the keys to the game. Brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Paul, without the drink.
Remember the 4th. I'm talking about the 4th inning last night. I think it was my favorite inning, Michael, this year offensively. I mean, just great at bats, 6 hits, 5 runs, and believe it or not, no home runs. So a big inning for the Yankees. Gleyber Day. You know what? It's always good to get him back. We talked about it in the pregame after missing 7 games. We got Gleyber back at shortstop tonight. Hopefully he can start where he left off, Michael. He was doing pretty well. Expecting and heating up. You know, Luke Voit got his first home run. Miggy's starting to hit. I can just see them being a huge part of this offense. Luke Voit, 6 for 13 in his last 3 games. Miggy, the last 4 games, 5 for 16. So those 2 right there can answer a lot of questions in this Yankee lineup offensively.
Well, some wind, but doesn't really affect the game because the roof is closed here at Globe Life. Yankees and the Rangers. Tomorrow's an afternoon game. When we take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by TikTok, it starts on TikTok. So LeMahieu, Voit, and Judge up top, then Urshela, Torres, and Andujar in the middle. And Paul mentioned that Torres activated from the COVID IL, first game since May 11th. And then the bottom third is Gardner, Higashioka, and Ryan Lamar. Now, there's no Clint Frazier for the 2nd straight day, and according to Yankee manager Aaron Boone, it's a neck thing. He didn't exactly elaborate what a neck thing meant, but it's a neck thing, and he's receiving treatment. And here is Hyun-Jin Young making the start for the Rangers. This will be his 2nd start. 16 innings, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks, a 3.38 ERA. What do you know about Young, Paul?
Well, we haven't seen him, but he is a veteran. 14 years he pitched in the Korean League, and he signed a minor league deal with the Rangers and was called up in April this year. Either or, he's done both. He had one other start, 3 relief appearances. So we'll see if he's going to be part of their rotation. And repertoire, how's he go about trying to get you out? And not a hard thrower. Fastball tops out at around 90, just a little under. It's a slider and a change, and he uses them all. So just a pitcher. As a hitter, you got to just be patient and get something to hit.
Let's take a look at the defense behind him. It's presented by Geico. Calhoun, Garcia, and Gallo. That's left to right in the outfield. Infield, Culberson is at third. Canafalefa is at short. Solak second, Lowe first. Behind the plate is Trevino, and Young is on the mound. Two big crowds for the first 2 games. Look like they're still filing in the Globe Life. Yankees are 20-16, and the Rangers are 19-25. LeMahieu with a big hit in last night's game, hitting .369 with runners in scoring position since becoming a Yankee, better than anybody in baseball. LeMahieu is ready. Young is ready. And let's do it in Arlington. First pitch is low. We're underway.
He waited you out, Michael, and let's do it. He got a pause there for you.
Ryan Addington is the home plate ump. Bill Miller at first. Doug Eddings at second. Brian Knight is at third. Now this is a very tiny thing, but I wonder if it would annoy a batter. Young is wearing glasses, and the thing that ties around the head is flapping when he pitches. And I wonder if a batter would call attention to it.
You know, Michael, I was watching him warm up. I'm like, does he have a ponytail, or is that? And then I figured it out. Yeah, it kind of holds those glasses in place. I don't know that, and I mean, you're looking for an arm angle and a release point. I don't know that that would even come into play from a hitter's point of view.
But it's a good way to annoy the pitcher if you ask the umpire to have him change it.
Yes, will work.
And there's ball 4. So LeMahieu with a leadoff walk. So quickly to the card on the mound, and Luke Voigt to the spray pine tar. He had yesterday off, as Mike Ford played first base, and that's the yes swing shift, how they play Luke Voigt. Pitch high, 1-0. Last 3 games, he's starting to heat up now. Off the IL, he was 0 for 10, and then 6 for 13. One and one.
You look at Michael, the one big thing that comes to mind is he got rid of that first home run. And a lot of times players, and we saw it with Torres, will start stressing over getting that first home run out of the way. Luke Voigt did that the other night, and I think he's going to be good to go.
Grounded right to Culberson. There's one on to first. It's a double play around the horn. Yankees lead the majors in hitting into grounded into double plays, and they just add one more. And if you want to look at it in a positive way, they have traffic, Paul. They have people on base.
That's right. They got men on base, but you see Luke Voigt out in front of the ball a little bit. Young, not a power thrower, but he will change speeds, and you see him kind of reach for that ball, cause him to hit it right at Culberson for an easy double play.
Here's Aaron Judge. And he jumps on the first pitch and lines it to right center field. Gallo cuts the ball off. Now, Paul, we've seen a lot of that from Judge lately. He's usually always taking the first pitch. Now he's jumping on it.
Yeah, and he even, said it. That he's going to be more aggressive. And Michael, you can explain all these spaghetti strikes for me.
This is where all the hits have gone over the last eight games. There are 14 of them, 14 for 29, and this is from StatCast 3D from Google Cloud. So now he's 15 for 30, and that's 500, Paul. There's a strike to Urshela.
Michael, if you look back at, power hitters, and they would take a lot of pitches and try to set up pitchers to a certain count where they could look at a ball where, you could drive out of the ballpark. But, the way pitchers are now, there's really never a fastball count. So, to see guys aggressive early in the count, I like that.
Yeah, I think there's such an emphasis on working the count and going deep into the count that sometimes you do let good pitches go. Just watch them. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, said Bill Miller. And that will do it. As Urshela down on strikes. No runs a hit, one man left. Yankees nothing. Rangers coming to bat. Well, there's Corey Kluber. He'll be pitching against his former team, and we'll take a look at the Rangers starting lineup, which is brought to you by TikTok. It starts on TikTok. Let's start with Joey Gallo in right field, batting fifth. So they drop him out of the cleanup spot, and Gallo 1 for 7 to 1 a home run and 4 strikeouts. And boy, in that small little graphic, that's what Joey Gallo is. That encapsulates the player that he is, either a home run or a strikeout. And then you see the rest as Chris Davis gets to start at DH. He pinched hit yesterday, ended the game looking at 103 mile-an-hour fastball from Aroldis Chapman. So that whole lineup is going to face Corey Kluber. 9th game, 3-2, 3.48. About a strikeout per inning. Now let's take a look at the scouting report, Paul.
Wow, let the good times roll. Such a good song by the Cars back in the day, huh, Michael?
Yes.
The good times are rolling. His last 4 starts, he's been really good. 4-0, 2.39 ERA. It changed things up, using his changeup much more. And in this 4-game span, hitters are 3 for 23 off his changeup. And ex-team, that's almost a laugh out loud. I mean, he threw 1 inning for the Rangers before his injuries last year, and ended up being a big break for the Yankees.
Yep, his shoulder hurt and walked off the mound, and he never pitched for them again. Driven deep to right and misses the pole. So the 1 inning last year. I'm sorry, Paul.
And Willie Calhoun has really given the Yankee pitchers fits as far as being able to get to the ball inside and drive the ball away. He got to a couple pitches from Cole. Got to that slider very easily inside off of Kluber.
Well, Kluber's 1 inning with the Rangers. He tore the teres major muscle in his right shoulder, and that pretty much shut him down. Didn't pretty much, it did. Then he became a free agent at the end of the year. And he strikes out Calhoun, and the Yankees, as well as a lot of other teams, pursued him, and the Yankees got him on a 1-year deal. Let's take a look at the defense behind him, presented by Geico. And Duhart, Gardner, and Lamar are left to right in the outfield. Infield, Urshela, Torres, LeMahieu, and Voit. Higashioka behind the plate. Kluber's on the mound. I mean, bottom line, Kluber has not pitched a lot in the last 2 years. The 1 inning in 2020. And then in 2019, he left the game in the 5th inning of a game after being hit by a comebacker by Brian Anderson. Non-displaced fracture of the right ulnar in his arm. And there was a lot of questions, Paul, coming in. Well, what would he be? Would he be able to return to what he's been? And we had Matt Blake on the other night, and Matt Blake said he's really close to what he was when he was with the Cleveland Indians and winning 2 Cy Young Awards. He never had his success predicated on velocity. It was all about location, and his stuff is pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he has so much to lean on in the past. I mean, he knows how to pitch. He knows how to set up hitters. I don't know that a young pitcher could take a year or 2 off and then come back. And I think that Kluber, all of a sudden, you know, once he gets his stuff back, you don't forget how to pitch.
Nifty move there.
Wow.
That's impressive, Paul.
It sure was. That's a play you can only do on turf right there.
Mm-hmm. Strike 3. Solak down looking.
I'll tell you what, so
take a look at the Home Depot getting more done. And he's getting a lot done the last 4 starts. 3-0, 2.39. More than a strikeout per inning. 8 walks. Opponents hitting .219 against him. And he struggled early, and you wondered when it was going to happen. Well, it happened.
Yeah, he's 3-0, and they won the other game also. So in his last 4 starts, the Yankees have won all 4. So good things.
Low fouls it off.
You know, Michael, I was just looking at that sponsor at Home Depot, and I got mixed emotions here. I love the store. You go in, you can go in and get anything you want, right? But when you leave, you got a project. You got something you got to do. And I'm not a big project guy at home. How about you?
I'm not a project guy anywhere, so yeah.
You know where you can get it. You just call somebody else to do it, is what you're saying.
Somebody to help. Maybe, you know, join me in the chore. Grounded right to Voit. Nice, easy 1-2-3 inning for Corey Kluber as the Rangers go down in order. We'll go to the 2nd inning. 0-0 on Yes. Well, Saturday night, the Brooklyn Nets begin their playoff run with a nationally televised Game 1 against the Celtics. And Yes, we'll have post-game coverage immediately after the final buzzer. So turn back to Yes for highlights, analysis, and reaction from players and coaches. That's Saturday night right here on Yes. And Yes is going to have Nets coverage throughout the Nets playoff run. So stay with the team that knows the Nets best. I spoke to Steve Nash, the head coach of the Nets today. He said something interesting. Everybody's concerned about the Big Three having only played 8 games together now going into the playoffs. And he said he's not so much concerned about the offense. He's concerned about what they'll do on defense. But he said it's a legitimate concern that people have. And I told him, I said, well, they're 3 of the greatest players who ever lived. I think they'll figure it out. Gleyber Torres is back, and the count is 1-0. You
know, what's interesting to me, Michael, is I actually saw something online today where Kevin Durant tweeted about Ohtani and J.J. Watt. So other guys are, you know, into other sports. I thought that was interesting.
Grounded right side, moving to the glove side is Solak, and he's in there. Could not see Bill Miller immediately, but Miller signaled safe, and it looked like the throw was a bit late, so a base hit for Gleyber.
With the shift to go over there, he just too much time to take that angle. Gleyber gets out of the box.
Here's Andujar. Grounded to short. How about that? Another double play. Wow. 2 innings, 2 double plays.
It's one of the things you love about Miggy is he is aggressive, but again, aggressive in the strike zone is very important. That ball down, just a tailor-made double play.
And Andujar made it close. Bang, bang at first base. They're going to challenge, and you know what? They might have a point, Paul.
Again, Michael, you said something to me a while ago on the challenges that the ball does not have to hit the pocket. It has to be entering the glove, and that's so hard to overturn, but you're right. I think he got down the line quick and made an easy double play. Looked very close.
Well, now they go to the guy who's holding the boom box from High Fidelity, so they can listen to the people back in the control. And he's out. They don't overturn it. That was fast. Aaron Boone has to be somewhat befuddled because not only does he challenge it, see now it's in the body of the glove, and that's what they went by. Because I don't believe it hit the back of the glove before the foot came down, but that they turned it around so quickly. I mean, we've seen much more obvious plays. They take a longer time.
Low, not even stretching, thinking it was an easy double play, but Andujar hustling down the line.
One. So the Yankees have grounded into 44 double plays. Two and one. Here's the 20th pitch by Young, and the count is 3-1. Gardner's going to see a lot of playing time with Hicks on the IL. He'll probably take a seat every now and then against the left-hander, but against righties, he's in there playing center field. Playing against the lefty tonight. There's a ground ball to first. Lowe takes it himself, and that will do it in the second. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the second. Well, last year, Corey Kluber, pitching for the Rangers, pitched exactly 1 inning. Then he hurt his shoulder. So Ranger fans got to see him face 3 batters. He got them all out. He ended his Ranger career with a 0.00 ERA. But the Rangers have acquired him from the Indians for Delino DeShields Jr. and Emmanuel Clase, who really throws the ball hard and has been lighting it up this year. So now, as he faces Garcia, Paul, they will have seen him face more batters in a Yankee uniform than they saw him face in a Ranger uniform.
Yeah, sometimes things just don't work out the way that you planned them. And I'm sure you could ask Brian Cashman that every time you make a trade, an acquisition, anything, you are taking somewhat of a gamble. A lot of them work. Sometimes they don't.
Well, when you look at what the Indians got for Kluber, a guy who the previous year had a broken arm, and obviously was one of the higher paid players, and they were going to have to trade him anyway. They got an arm like Clase, and you wonder why were the Rangers going for a veteran arm when they didn't have a team good enough to win, as Garcia swings and misses. Third strikeout for Kluber. Now that'll bring up Joey Gallo, and yes, last night Paul was very interested in Joey Gallo's bat. Meredith has tracked down exactly what's going on, Paul.
Paul, I know it's been keeping you up all night, and he actually took a trip this offseason to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to the Mariucci Bat Lab, where they essentially find out what bat is best for you. They tailor it to each player's individual needs, and he usually used, in years past, what is a traditional bat, a little bit more top-heavy, but they told him if he distributed the weight a little bit more, made it more balanced, and have a little bit more weight on that handle, as you see the knob right there, it would put him in a position to swing a little bit better, his hands would be quicker, and that would allow him to barrel up more baseballs. So, kind of interesting. Paul, did you ever go to a bat lab?
No, I went to Louisville Slugger just to see how it was done and things like that. It's a really cool experience, but this reminds me almost of like a club fitting in golf, which is so important now. I mean, it seems like that's going to be coming up here in the future.
Popped up, shallow center field. Here comes Gardner to put it away for the second out.
Well, Paul, it's funny you say that because the lab started with a golf lab, and then they transitioned into baseball to fit baseball players with their bats. So it does seem as though that is the wave of the future, and you wonder if a lot of hitters are going to start doing that in years to come.
Look at Meredith tracking that down.
It's unbelievable, and you know, when thinking back of going to the the Louisville Slugger bat factory there in Louisville, I mean, it is so amazing how many different models there are, how many different handles, barrels, weights of the bat, and those places are so special because they have bats, from Babe Ruth to Mickey Mantle to the greats of the game. I remember picking up Babe Ruth's bat, and it was just like, how could you even hit with this thing? Bernie Williams, I've said it many times, I used to pick up Bernie's bat. I'm like, Bernie, this is the ugliest bat I've ever seen. But obviously he did well with it, so it's a personal preference.
Another 1-2-3 inning for Kluber as we go to the third. Well, Yankee fans, get your New York Yankees individual game tickets today and catch some amazing upcoming games at Yankee Stadium. There's a great matchup coming up against the White Sox, plus big divisional games against the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Rays. Visit Yankees.com to get all your information about ticket availability and to purchase tickets. Tickets are going fast, so visit Yankees.com today. I am personally really looking forward to the White Sox this weekend at the stadium. That should be a blast. That's a pretty good team the Yankees will be facing starting on Friday night. We go to the third, Montefiore scoreboard. 0-0. Higashioka, Lamar, and LeMahieu. Well, Kluber, a 12-pitch first inning and an 8-pitch second inning. Fly ball center field. Garcia makes the play, one away. I've got to follow up on something with you, Paul. Why was Bernie Williams' bat so unattractive to you?
It had a weird handle, and there was really no barrel to it. It was almost like a fungo bat. It's just like, Bernie, where do you hit the ball on this thing? Because most bats, there's a sweet spot, just above the label, and that's where you want to hit the ball. His bat it really had no thickness anywhere to the point where you felt like you really hit something hard, but it was perfect for him.
Sounds like a stickball bat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to do, Paul, if you don't mind, as Lamar fouls one off. Next time you're here, we go on Jerome Avenue or River Avenue and find a wall, and I will get a Spalding, and you'll have a stickball bat, and I want to see if I can strike out.
You know what? I've never played stickball. I've heard all the stories. I mean, we could put this on TV, and I'll just edit it. If you strike me out, I will edit it. Believe me. But I hope I take you deep, because the stick, the flip. Oh, I'll be doing cartwheels out of the box when I go deep off of you.
Oh, I'd like to try.
Nice.
I just know that growing up the Bronx, we played that all the time, and you would go up against a wall, and there'd be a box drawn it, and you throw as hard as you could, and every 10, 12, 14-year-old threw 500 pitches as hard as they could. Nobody tore a rotator cuff. It's amazing.
No pitch counts in stickball.
No pitch counts, no. You played till mom called you for dinner. 2-2. Meredith, you're in on this?
100%, Michael. I can't wait. I'd be happy to be the videographer if need be. I'd be happy to strike you out if need be.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Now we got a double challenge. Now, the ball doesn't have to bounce. You just throw it in there.
No, throw it as hard as you
right?
can. No, throw it as hard as you can.
Could you imagine the people in the neighborhood that are watching us thinking, what are these three doing out there?
Oh, we'd get a crowd. There's a ground ball to short. And looks like somebody just pulled a hamstring. Wow, Lamar grabs his hamstring immediately, and that is trouble. He has worked so hard to get back to the big leagues, and then this happens on a simple ground ball to short.
So coming out of the box, let's see. I'd say he doesn't even, he was kind of what you do as a player, you just kind of stride it out. Boy, it just grabbed.
That's awful. That's just terrible. "32 years old. He had not played in the big league since 2019. Gets an opportunity. There's playing time out there for him, and you get hurt this way. Now, what are some of the moves the Yankees could make here, Meredith? Is Clint Frazier a playable player?
Supposedly he is available off the bench today. At least that's what Aaron Boone said pregame. As you noted, he's dealing with a little bit of a neck issue. I asked if that dated back to one of those catches that he made, and he said they are still trying to track down exactly when it started. But he wasn't going to play yesterday all along. Aaron Boone had circled that day as an off day for Clint Frazier. But then today when he came in, he said he felt a little bit of soreness. He was getting some treatment, but was supposedly going to go through a full pregame routine. So as long as he got through that okay, I would imagine that you may see Clint Frazier out there.
Now, we just saw as he was walking, as Lamar was walking up the field, that Tyler Wade grabbed the glove. He's another option for the outfield as well. So if they're going to use Wade here, a lefty against a lefty, then Frazier's probably not playable at this point, you would think. But we'll see who plays right field in the bottom of the inning. There's a strike. Oh, 0-2. LeMahieu walked in the first inning. Left-hander rocks and deals. Check swing, ground ball to first, low is there, and the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. And they lose a right fielder as well, what looked like a hamstring injury. We go to the bottom of the third. Well, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage camp. Today is, I guess, mystery bobblehead night. You could receive a bobblehead from any of the years, and some people got Corey Kluber's bobblehead. They only pitched one inning. They probably never gave it away last year, so they're giving it away today on Mystery Bobblehead Day. You'd say that's a collector's item, Paul, right?
You would think 1 inning. I mean, obviously his past is why you want his bobblehead. He's one of the game's best, but as a Ranger, that is a little strange.
Well, Tyler Wade makes his 12th career game in right field. He's played 36 and 2/3 innings out there, taking over for Ryan Lamar. Montefiore scoreboard 0-0, and the first pitch to Kiner Falefa is outside 1-0. Now, Paul, we have confirmation of what you said about Bernie's bat. The great actor Nick Turturro, who's a huge Yankee fan, watches every inning. He sent along a video. He's got one of Bernie's bats, and he said it's really a terrible looking bat.
I appreciate the support because I never could figure it out. And he used it from their left hand and right-handed. He didn't change bats. He used it from both sides.
And they try out Wade right away. That's how it works. 1 down.
Boy, nothing better, though, to get your feet wet is a nice, easy fly ball, not a hard one. Tyler Wade, now he's into the game.
There's the bat.
See that? I mean, if I had my little telestrator, see where all the ball marks are? That's where you want to hit the ball. There's no wood there. Bernie, what are you doing? You got all the wood at the end of the bat. That's not where you want to hit it.
It's hard to criticize, Paul. He did okay.
Way good. Way good.
Way good.
Just think what he would have done if he had a real bat. Remember early in the year, Michael, you would see Kluber's slider, and it was kind of up and down, kind of rolling. Now it's got that horizontal just snap, and it's such a different pitch. That's what he had in the past, and that's what he got back. I mean, it is nasty to right-handed hitters.
So Charlie Culberson works a walk off of Kluber, so that's the first base runner the Rangers have. Here's Jose Trevino. There's a strike. One and one. Not a dead pull. They do have two infielders on each side of second. Bottom of the third inning, nothing.
Trevino back in the lineup tonight. He is their everyday catcher, and if you go back at his minor league days, he was a Gold Glove winner in the minor leagues. So, you know, a defensive guy, hoping if you're a Rangers fan that he can turn it around and add some offensively, but very, very solid behind the plate.
Trevino is from Texas, Corpus Christi. 6th-round pick in 2014 out of Oral Roberts. Fourth big league season. Swing and a miss. Trevino down on strikes. 4 Ks.
Tell you what, he's really leaning on that slider, and it is breaking. And you know, a lot of sliders kind of up and down. His slider just continues to run away. See how small the dot on that is, and the smaller you can get that dot, the harder it is for the hitter to pick it up. And it's such a sharp breaking slider.
Keeping Culberson close. Paul, if I was a clubhouse guy, like with the Yankees, the Cuckoozes, that would drive me nuts, the pine tar on his helmet.
Yeah. I guess, you know what, and you remember like Robinson Cano, they would have tons of pine tar on their shoulder from laying the bat on their shoulder. And yeah, that's not the easiest thing. Robbie does a great job of getting that stuff out. And again, as a player, you get so used to wearing the same uniform and things like that that, you know, you don't want to take it off the shelf just because, you know, it got a rip in the knee or this or that. You want to keep your same stuff.
And you use that on everything now. Sky high pop up, shallow right. That's LeMahieu out there. He'll put it away. And that'll do it in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Let's go to the 4th inning. Nothing. Well, it's a food fight, an MLB food fight presented by MasterCard to determine which ballpark food is best this year. Fill out your bracket, and then you can vote for the Yankee Stadium Lobel Steak Sandwich at MLB.com/foodfight today. Now, at Globe Life today, it's $1 hot dog night. But get this, they limit you to just 5. I don't know if they care about your health or they don't want to give away too many hot dogs.
Yeah. I still have not seen that seat where the first night, what was that called? The
boomstick.
Boomstick or boomstick? Oh, my goodness.
You know, our friend who was devouring the boomstick that day, he was on SportsCenter. They were breaking down how he attacked the boomstick. It's got its own carrying case. It's delightful. I don't think that's $1, Paul.
No.
0-2 on Voit.
Well, Young, a little more on him, Michael. He was the MVP of the league over there in 2017. 20-6, 2 times. He won their equivalent to the Cy Young. So very successful before he came over here.
He's looked very good so far tonight as he strikes out Voit.
The four-seam fastball, and he kind of got away with it. That ball's right there. Luke Voit just underneath a little bit.
So here's Judge. Now, is that making fun of you know, a New Yorker's accent? Hot dogs? Rounded to short. Paul, you didn't know me then, but at the age of like 20, that's how I spoke.
I tell you what, I knew that I had been in New York a long time when my kids came home from summer camp, you know, still 5, 6, 7 years old, and asked for water. I'm like, water? What do you mean water? I mean, we drink water around here. I don't know what you want, but I knew I was in New York when I started hearing that. But kids have great memories of that.
And your son that became a doctor, he knows it's good to drink water.
Well, yeah, that's right. You're exactly right.
Urshela struck out in the first inning. The 1-0. 2-0. Tries to pull that outside pitch and grounds it to Culberson, and that will do it. Another 1-2-3 inning, and Young has retired 8 Yankees in a row. Time for trivia. Corey Kluber pitched in 1 game for the Rangers. Who's the only other Cy Young winner to appear in exactly 1 game for a team? Wow. Now, the clue is it's an ex-teammate of yours, Paul.
Wow, I guess I should know the answer, but it's not coming up real quick.
So how many Cy Young Award winners did you play with? Coney.
Clemens, Coney.
Anybody with the Reds?
You got a double question for me, Michael. Now I'm really confused.
I don't think anybody with the Reds, right?
Can't think of one.
Oh, 2.
I'll tell you what, Michael, this is like turning back the clock. I mean, his slider is ridiculous tonight. I mean, it's just sharp breaking. You can tell hitters are not picking up the baseball.
Another strikeout.
Such a tight spin on that ball. You just have no chance as a hitter to adjust to it. His breaking ball tonight, 0 for 5 now with 4 strikeouts with it. So it's been his go-to again to lefties and righties.
Very economical. Fly ball deep right field. Wade is back. He has room. And he puts it away. And that'll bring up Adolis Garcia. And time for Jimmy John's Freaky Fresh Take. Let's see what we have on Garcia. All right, since April 13th, tied for first in home runs with 11, first in RBIs with 30, tied for 7th in hits with 38, and the home run total is tied with Ohtani. And it's not like he started in a slump, as Paul mentioned yesterday. He was DFA'd by the Rangers in spring training, then signed to a minor league deal, and they called him up. when Ronald Guzman got hurt.
All of a sudden, he's a name in the American League. I mean, a good, solid player. Defected in 2016. Actually played a year in Japan before the Cardinals signed him in 2017. So he's kind of been around, but all of a sudden now, it seems like everything's coming together.
(3-1) on Garcia. He's the cleanup hitter tonight. Pitch. Fouled away, 3-2.
You know, it's amazing to me, as many great sliders as he's thrown tonight. He got that one over the middle of the plate. You could see that he was so frustrated with himself. That's the problem when you're a perfectionist. You expect every pitch to be perfect.
And the 3-2. Right in on the hands, foul back. So Garcia battling. Sky to center field. Gardner's there to put it away. And a 1-2-3 inning work by Corey Kluber. He certainly looks great tonight. We go to the 5th. And Bob Mancini, 20 ribbies, and it's just May 19th. Ohtani, the talk of sports. 14 home runs this season, most in the majors. He's starting tonight against Cleveland, batting second. Fernando Tatis Jr. back in the lineup. He was 4 for 4 with a home run today. And first game off the COVID IL. And the White Sox, 26-16. It's the best winning percentage in the American League, and we will see them on Friday. Yankees against the White Sox at the stadium. (2-0) on Torres, who picked up a hit in his first at bat coming off the COVID IL. The Yankee players had some fun with Kluber coming back. They had a medical gown in his locker and loads of masks and things like that. And that's ball 4, very close. Torres took it, and he works a leadoff walk here in the 5th. They also put 2 plexiglass separators between his locker and the lockers near him. As you know, Paul, athletes' humor could be very cruel. Nothing's off limit.
Yeah. Well, once everything's okay. I mean, if somebody's injured or this or that, then you never go the next step. But as soon as somebody's okay or somebody's back, yeah, it's a free for all.
And here's the locker, the hazmat suit, and all the mask, and I guess there's a bottle of Purell there. And they have the rope in front of the rope in front of the locker. And Duhar wrapped into a double play his first time up. Very close play at first on the return throw. You wonder with the injury to Lamar, what's the Yankees' next move? They're going to have to bring in another outfielder. Will it be Estevan Florial? Grounded to third. This could be another double play, and it is. Yankees have hit into 3 double plays tonight.
Again, ball hit hard, just right at him, and once the play is made, nothing big he can do.
Caught it in the heel, but got rid of it quickly, and a good turn by Solak. '45th grounded into double play this season, the most in the majors. And Paul, those that argue about the 3 true outcomes, and that's the way you want the team to play. The argument is if you put the ball in play, that you can hit into a double play. If you strike out, that's just 1 out. And we mentioned Florial, if maybe he's a possibility. He's the only outfielder left on the 40-man roster, but he's only played 3 games above Double-A. Greg Allen, we saw in spring training, could have been a possibility when Hicks went down, but he's been hurt as well, so I don't think he's an option this time. Maybe we get good news that Lamar, it's just a cramp like it was yesterday with Sanchez, but looked like it was more than that.
Yeah, cramp, you keep walking. When that grabs like that, Michael, that's usually a bad sign. So don't expect him to be in a Yankee uniform tomorrow.
And they do have another option. Aaron Judge, of course, could play the outfield, but he's DHing tonight, and you wonder how they're going to use that position moving forward. But it's not that they don't have enough outfielders on the roster. They will eventually need to make a move, though, depending on what's happening with Aaron Hicks as the Yankees get out of the inning.
We go to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through. It's 0-0. Well, here's a trivia question we gave you earlier. Kluber pitched in 1 game for the Rangers. Who's the only other Cy Young winner to appear in exactly 1 game for a team? It's an ex-teammate of Paul's. We can't figure out who this might be. Now we will find out. Dwight Gooden. Wow. Astros in 2000.
It's funny, I remember, do you remember when the Astros opened that new ballpark and we went down there as an exhibition to open that ballpark, and Doc actually pitched that day. So I do remember him being with Houston. I didn't know it was only 1 game though.
There's Kluber's line tonight as Gallo leads off the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. You know, we keep giving you the Yankees double play total, grounded into double play total. Let me put it into a bit of perspective. They have 45 they've hit into. The team average in the major leagues right now is around 29. So they are well above the average number that most teams are at. One and 2 on Gallo. Gallo with a fly ball to center in the 2nd. 34 strikes, 16 balls. Just missed outside. Strike 3. Oh. Gallo down looking.
I've never seen sliders with this kind of movement, Michael, and that's the first one you've seen backdoor to a lefty. I mean, to tell you, this is really something. I mean, he's been on the inside to lefties. He's been away to righties. I mean, it has been just absolutely a pleasure to watch. This is some kind of breaking ball tonight. Over and over again.
Went backdoor to Gallo, picked up his 6th strikeout. Here's Chris Davis. who grounded to second in the second. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
You know, Michael, this kind of defends a statement that I've always said, and you've brought it up to me numerous times. It's like, you know, if you know you're getting a slider from Kluber, why would you not go up and look for it? But I'm telling you right now, you could look for this slider, and the ones he's thrown so far, you're not going to hit it. I mean, it's been that good.
Well, just one walk to Charlie Culberson in the third, and 6 strikeouts. One-two.
Went to the changeup, and Chris Davis, I mean, if that name rings a bell, yeah, he has had some phenomenal years out in Oakland. 2016, 17, 18, led the league in home runs with 48. 2018, so I mean, tons of power. This is the first 34 games this year with a left quad strain, so crazy kind of power. And you want to hear a crazy stat, Michael? I've never even seen or heard this before. 2015, 16, 17, and 18. He hit 247 every single year. Never been done before. 4 consecutive years, 247.
Consistency.
Pretty consistent, huh?
Yeah. Did he go? Yes, he did. Another strikeout as Davis, strikeout victim number 7.
You see Davis's first move is to open up. No chance to cover that slider.
Pitch count in great shape, 59 pitches through 4 2/3. And here is Kiner Falefa. Fly ball to right in the third. Kluber's feeling it. He's getting the ball. He wants to throw it right away. Clips the outside corner, 1-1. Grounded to third, Urshela. And that'll do it here in the 5th as Kluber works a 1-2-3. He's retired the last 8 Rangers in a row.
It's time for tonight's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Doing More. Gary Sanchez, who exited last night's game early due to cramping in his left hamstring, is available off the bench, according to Aaron Boone. Also noteworthy, Giancarlo Stanton, who did some work in the weight room yesterday and also hit in the cage, did some limited activity on the field today. Aaron Boone continues to say that he is making progress, and they are hopeful that he'll be able to come off the injured list when the 10 days are up. And not listed on that graphic was Aaron Hicks. No new news there. He's still taking those anti-inflammatories. Aaron Boone said no decision has been made with Aaron Hicks.
We go to the 6th, Montefiore scoreboard, 0-0. Yankees have 2 hits. The Rangers have yet to get a base runner other than a walk. Count 0-1 on Higashioka. So as great as Kluber has been, Young has matched him 0 for 0 in the run column. Yankees have a couple of singles. Judge had a single in the first. Gleyber Torres an infield single in the second. The other base runners for the Yankees, LeMahieu walked and Torres walked. The Yankees have also hit into 3 double plays. You know, Paul mentioned the slider that looks so devastating. Texas is 0 for 8 against that pitch. 6 strikeouts, so they've had 9 swings and 7 misses on that pitch. Two-two. 3-2 on Higashioka. And Tyler Wade will have his first at bat. And a walk to Higashioka to start off the 6th inning.
A good at bat by Higgy. He was around the strike zone the whole at bat, but just he was patient enough to lay off. Now you've got some decisions to make if you're Aaron Boone or Tyler Wade. You'll possibly put a runner in motion, possibly a bunt, or do you just sit back and wait for a couple big hits?
Well, Wade took over for Lamar, who won a ground ball to short in the 3rd inning. Grabbed his right hamstring and walked off the field in a lot of pain. 1-0.
You know, Michael, back when a hit and run was, a big part of baseball, this was like a perfect guy to do it off of, because, he's around the plate, he's not overpowering, so as a hitter, you're going to get something that you can usually put in play. And it was a pretty sure bet from a manager's point of view to, you're going to make contact and good things will happen.
Young has thrown 72 pitches this year. That's the most, so he's at 61 right now. And he's over what he's done in terms of innings. So he's entering somewhat uncharted territory. Skied the other way, 2-2. Three and two.
Again, lefty on lefty, hard to run off if you're on first base, but I would not hesitate. If I was a manager here, that Tyler Wade could put the ball in play to allow that runner to go.
Stays put, and that one is lined into right center field. It's going to split the outfielders and go to the wall. Higashioka is at third. They're going to wave him home. Here's the throw. He's in there with the Yankees' first run. An RBI double for Wade, and the Yankees are up 1-0.
Really good at bat by Tyler Wade. And Michael, we talked about it last night when Higgy came in off the bench and got a hit. Sometimes when you're not starting, you go to the ballpark, your mind's at ease, all of a sudden you're in the game, you don't overthink things. A little four-seamer right there, and he just lines it in the right field gap. Give Kluber some runs the way he's throwing the ball. It's not going to take many.
Wade ended up getting a triple, the Yankees' second triple of the year, and Higashioka scores ahead of the throw. So now he's at third. Nobody out. Yankee bench loves it. And now the Rangers bring the infield in with LeMahieu at the plate. And on artificial turf, the infield in is about halfway.
This is an awkward situation for Texas. The league's best with runner in scoring position, nobody out. Got to figure he's going to be able to get the job done, and it makes it that much easier with the infield in.
Bullpen getting ready. Brett Martin. Two and 0.
See a lot of hitters, Michael, with big at bats, men in scoring position, like everything's in a rush. You're trying to get it done. You're in a hurry. DJ LeMahieu, if you just looked at his expressions and the way he goes about it, you wouldn't know anybody's on base or if he's leading off an inning.
High fly ball, left field, coming over Calhoun near the line. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Wade. He'll score easily. It's a sac fly for LeMahieu, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Again, another big run right there when your starting pitcher, Corey Kluber's throwing the ball the way he is. Anyone you can tack on is good. LeMahieu gets the job done. Calhoun running towards the line. It's going to be very difficult. It wasn't that deep of a fly ball, but his movement towards the line is going to make it almost impossible to stop and make a good throw home to get Tyler Wade.
One out. Here's Voit. 0-1. This is his third time through the order, and it's the first time against any opponent he's done that this season. Oh, and 2. One, 2. Now 2-2. So he's been low 3 straight times after starting out 0-2 on Voit. Yankees lead 2-0 as they put the first runs of the game on the board here in the 6th inning. Well, this is Young's season high. And he walks Voit. You wonder, Paul, he looks so sharp in 5 innings, if he's tiring a bit now.
Yeah, you see him starting to pick a little bit and try to throw perfect pitches. He's not going to challenge guys, and it's probably going to be it as Chris Woodward is heading to the mound.
So a pretty good performance by Young, but he's going up against a guy who has special stuff tonight, and he's going to leave the ball game trailing 2-0 with a runner on first being his responsibility. Brett Martin comes in. He'll face Aaron Judge when we get back. Well, Friday night on Yes, watch the hottest team in the WNBA as superstar Sabrina Ionescu and the New York Liberty look to run their record to 4-0 when they take on the Washington Mystics. Coverage will start at 7 right here on YES and streaming on the YES app. And Ionescu is a really special player. Knots the first ever triple-double in Liberty history. Just the 9th overall in the WNBA in last night's win over Minnesota. And she looks like she is a transcendent star in the making. Brett Martin will appear in his 14th game, and he will face Aaron Judge with a runner on first and one man out. Yankees up 2-0 here in the 6th. Judge is 1 for 2. He's had 2 or more hits in 6 of his last 8 games. One and one. Two and two.
Well, look at Martin right over the top. Big, tall lefty. Not a overpowering either. I mean, 93 four-seamer, curveball, slider, 24% of the time. So kind of one of those lefties that, again, you know, you got to be patient. Wait for him to make a mistake.
Swing and a tip into the glove of Trevino. Strikeout of Judge, 2-away.
Aaron saw every pitch in his repertoire and finally got a good pitch to hit. Two-seam fastball just hit the inside corner, swung right through it.
So here's Gio Urshela. Voits at first with 2 outs. Urshela 0 for 2 against Young. And he hits one sharply foul outside of third. Some laughs between the battery.
See that. You just don't see that much, Michael. As locked in as Corey Kluber is, to see him laughing in the dugout. Wow.
Yeah, they usually
get that magic.
They leave him alone.
Very stoic. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. He's got that switch. He can turn it on and turn it off.
When David Wells was working on his perfect game, nobody would go near him. And then David Cohn sat next to him, started joking around. Break out a knuckleball, I dare you. Just to break the tension. That one is ripped down the left field line. Foul. Pretty close to the foul pole. Into a bunch of Yankee fans. Yankees 2, the Rangers nothing. Rangers have had 1 base run or a walk by Charlie Culberson. 2-2. This is the longest half inning for Kluber. A lot of laughter. I mean, he's usually, as you said, very stoic, Paul. A lot of smiles. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Bill Miller. And 2 strikeouts for Martin to end the inning. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 1 hit. And there's very few things better to look at than a triple. A really fast guy. Tyler Wade with a triple brings in the first run. Yankees lead 2-0. Well, Saturday night on Yes, don't miss NYCFC's next game as the boys in blue take on the defending MLS Cup champions, the Columbus Crew. Coverage starts at 7 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. And Yes is the home of some really hot teams. NYCFC unbeaten last 4 matches. We told you about the Liberty. The Nets are starting the playoffs, and the Yankees are playing pretty good baseball as well. So we go to the 6th inning. Montefiore scoreboard 2-3-0 and zeros across for the Rangers. Kluber deals to Culberson. And there's a strike. Culberson, he walked in the 3rd inning. Popped up, shallow right center. LeMahieu makes the play. 1 down here in the 6th. Some action in the bullpen. It's Taylor Hearn. One of the 5 lefties they have in the bullpen, 4 righties. Young had been pitching out of the bullpen, so they were carrying 6 lefties in the pen. But he might have established himself in the rotation the way he pitched tonight. Here's Trevino. And a strike from Kluber. Oh, 2. Kluber has 7 strikeouts.
It is just amazing to me. I've seen power pitchers throw the ball by people, great change. I don't know that I've seen any better with a slider. Just time and time again, being able to throw this thing where he wants.
Fly ball away toward the line, makes the play, 2 away. Back to the top of the order, and Willie Calhoun. He struck out looking in the 1st and popped to 2nd in the 3rd. So Kluber's faced 1 batter over the limit. That's how good he's been. That 1 batter is because of Culberson's walk in the 3rd inning. The 1-0. Grounded. Right to Torres. And you might want to give your friends a call. Go on social media. Could be something fun happening in Texas. We'll go to the 7th. Well, welcome to Now York. The world's greatest city is now open. Thanks to vaccines and the resilience of New Yorkers, the city is ready for you. Just like the Yankees, it's time to come out and play. Be sure to hashtag your photos with hashtag NowYork if you're here at the stadium, out in the Bronx, or elsewhere across the 5 boroughs as we get back out there. Well, Kluber has not allowed a hit through 6 innings, and Taylor Hearn now comes on to face the Yankees in the 7th. Just 1 batter over the minimum. He's faced 19 batters through 6 innings, and Paul, Kluber looks great. He really does, and I mean, that's stating the obvious.
I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about it. And you're looking at 25, 26 sliders that he's thrown tonight. I can remember one that hit the middle of the plate, and Garcia fouled it back. He has been phenomenal, especially with his slider so far.
So Gleyber Torres will lead off against Hearn. Pitch outside. Three and 0. So 6 innings in, Paul, you've played in these sorts of games. When do players start to know something's going on?
I think you just hit about that spot at the end of the 6th, and you got 9 outs. You're thinking, but the good thing about games like this is the game's not out of hand, so it doesn't really consume your mind as a hitter. I mean, obviously, I don't know about a pitcher, but as a player, you're still in a 2-0 game where you're worried about trying to win the game, but believe me, you do know what's going on because he's throwing the ball that well.
And Gleyber Torres picks up his second hit. It's bobbled by Garcia, and Torres will stay at first, so he's 2 for 2 with a walk.
You remember when Gleyber Torres just broke, came up. I mean, these are the type of hits you saw him get inside the ball. Boy, I tell you what, if he would just stay right there, you're going to see great things happen to him offensively.
And Duhar has grounded into 2 double plays. The Yankees have hit into 3 on the night. They lead 2-0, both runs in the 6th inning. One and one. And Duhar down on strikes.
We got a really good pitch to hit too. Hearn having trouble throwing strikes. Miggy went outside the strike zone for strike 1. Then he got kind of a hanging breaking ball. He swung right through it.
That'll bring up Gardner, grounded to first, and a fly ball to center. Torres at first with 1 man out. We're in the 7th inning. Runner goes, throw to second, not in time. And Connor Falefa is pointing to the dugout to check that out. We shall see.
Well, safe on the attempt, and then let's see if he went off. Wakamatsu right there will check.
Now, when there was a disconnect, ooh. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. There were so many different things there that the glove actually missed him when the hand was off, then it came back. I don't know. This is a flip of a coin. But again, remember, if there's not a definitive, it was called safe.
They will not challenge.
Michael, don't whisper anything, but I think we're starting to see some old-time baseball. Last night, what, 6 singles in an inning?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, great defense. Now we're stealing bases. What we got going on here? Just old-fashioned baseball?
Well, you know what? If the home runs aren't going to come, you've got to play that game.
I kind of like it. How about you?
I like it. Hearn deals. There's strike 2 and 2. Brilliant through 6. Corey Kluber. Just 1 base runner, a walk, keeping loose. Pitch count's in great shape. And at this point, the signing by the Yankees, and it looks like a stroke of genius. You know, the first couple of starts you worried, was the stuff good enough? But it's good enough, and he is really commanding it. He's pitched very, very well. 3 and 2 as Torres stays put at second. You know, a lot of people criticize the Yankees when he started off slowly. Why would they sign a guy through just 1 inning last year? There are a lot of teams in on him. A lot of teams liked it when he threw for them, and you know, there's a lot of back and forth. He had worked exclusively with Eric Cressey, who was the Yankees director of performance, and Cressey gave the Yankees a great read on how healthy he was, and he decided to go with the Yankees. But there are a lot of clubs involved that saw the same thing the Yankees saw.
You know, and you go back after the injury, it was just too big of a challenge or a gamble for the Texas Rangers. I think they had another option year on him, which was big money, and you know, it was just too big of a gamble for him.
3-2, lined right at Solak, and they're going to make the throw to second to double him up. So the 4th double play by the Yankees is not on the ground. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. The no-hitters this year: Musgrove against the Rangers, Rodon against the Indians, John Means at the Mariners, Wade Miley at the Indians, and Spencer Turnbull again at the Mariners. And Madison Bumgarner had won a 7-inning no-hitter. It's not considered a no-hitter, but it was one of the games of a doubleheader, and but they count officially 5. And we go to the 7th inning now with Kluber heavily flirting with history, as Nick Solak will dig in to start the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0. Well, this is a guy who has obviously achieved consistent excellence on the mound. He's won 2 Cy Young Awards, and is dealing on this Wednesday evening in Arlington, Texas. He has struck out Solak twice. 7 strikeouts in all. The only base runner a walk to Charlie Culberson. And 72 pitches going into the 7th inning. 2, 3, 4 in the Ranger order. Skied the other way, 1 and 2. Kluber's 35 years old. His last great year was 2018 with Cleveland, 20-7, 2.89. He made 33 starts. Two and two. We mentioned just 1 inning last year for the Texas Rangers on this mound, and then a torn teres major muscle in his right shoulder, and he was done for the year. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch out of the strike zone. Solak down on strikes.
You know, to me, Michael, that looks like one of those swings as a hitter is like, all right, I'm going to cover a slider. You see a slider and you just swing at it because you know and recognize it's actually a changeup. And that's what really fooled him. You see, Kluber went to this twice in this count. Solak had all kind of problems with the slider. What a great pitch to change him up.
Here's Nate Lowe, a grounder to first and a fly ball to right. Pitch inside, 1-0. Just missed low, 2-0. There's a strike.
Well, what you love to see, Michael, is the sign go down and Kluber nodding like in total agreement immediately on the same page with Higgy.
2-2. Seem to be on the same wavelength. The 2-2. Strike 3. Low down looking. 9th strikeout for Kluber.
What a great job coming back from 2-0, and he actually used a changeup in this count too, and then went back to a front door fastball. See that just tail back hit the inside corner. I'll tell you what, it's just one of those nights. Kluber can throw anything he wants at any time.
Here's Adolis Garcia. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly ball to center. And Kluber deals. Two 4-0 for the Yankees, 0s across for the Rangers. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. And the pitch. 2-1. Yankees 2, Texas nothing. And we're getting closer to the point where the score actually becomes the sidebar. There's a strike. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner at the knees, 2-2.
He's starting to incorporate the changeup more in this inning than he has in the first 6. So again, it just gives him another weapon.
Grounded to short. And Kluber is 6 outs away from pitching a no-hitter. Brilliant through 7. 2-0 Yankees. We go to the 8th. Hey, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And tonight's picture comes to us from the Scanlon family. They're excited to announce that both their family and the Yankee family is about to get a little bigger. Hey, congratulations. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. Big news for the Scanlons. Hyundai scoreboard, big news developing here in Texas. 6 outs away from a no-hitter is Corey Kluber as the Yankees bat here in the 8th inning. Kyle Higashioka takes outside from Taylor Hearn. Two and 0.
Spectrum Mobile. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Just $45.
Count 2-1 on Higashioka. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. His walk started the 2-run 6th inning. The only inning that either team has scored. A big RBI triple by Wade and a sac fly by LeMahieu, and that is the scoring. On the other side of the scorecard, Kluber has faced 22 batters. That's just 1 over the limit. Just 1 walk he's allowed. And Higashioka walks. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So here is Tyler Wade. He came into the game after the injury to Ryan Lamar, trying to beat out a ground ball to short. It grabbed his right hamstring. And a strike. One and one. Fouled away, 1-2.
Well, seldom, Michael, do you come to the ballpark not expecting to play, and all of a sudden you are the team's offense. You drive in 1, you score 1. That's who we have to play right here in Tyler Wade.
Grounded. This could be another double play, and it is. 5 double plays by the Yankees tonight.
You know, it's really funny, Michael, as I look at this at bat. I mean, some double plays, you kind of roll over a ball, you're out in front. This is actually a good swing from Tyler Wade. I mean, he just happened to hit it at the shortstop, stayed in on a good lefty. You see, this ball's hit hard. That's why these balls are double plays. They just are hit right at the middle infielder.
Here's LeMahieu. That one is chopped back to the mound. And that will do it in the top of the 8th inning. Buckle up. Kluber's coming out to pitch the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Yankees have seen this before. Don Larson with the perfect game. Dave Righetti, a July 4th no-hitter. Jim Abbott. Dwight Gooden. A perfect game for David Wells and David Cone. The Yankees have had 10 no-hitters thrown in franchise history, not counting Larson's perfect game in Game 5 of the 1956 World Series. George Mogridge started it in 1917, the most recent one in 1999 by our colleague, David Cone. Hyundai scoreboard 2-0 Yankees over Texas as Kluber makes his way to the mound. He has never pitched 9 innings without allowing a hit. So this is new territory for him. And he will face Gallo, Davis, and Connor Falefa. Last time the Yankees had a no-hit bid through 7 innings, it was Phil Hughes in 2010 at Oakland. And here's Gallo. That one's popped up. And Higashioka runs out of room. In the Phil Hughes 7-inning one, he was 6 outs away, but Eric Chavez hit a leadoff infield single that bounced off Phil's arm. The Yankees still won the game 3-1. Gallo's 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a strikeout. The 0-1. Pitch outside, 1-1. $87 pitches for Kluber here in the 8th inning. And the righty deals. 1-2. His nickname is Klubot, and he is working tonight with machine-like efficiency. He is in sync with his catcher, Kyle Higashioka. He has 9 strikeouts on the night. Grounded softly to first. Luke Voit steps on the bag, 1 away here in the 8th.
Again, another changeup, and he was not using that earlier in the game, and why should you when you have the slider that he had? Boy, all of a sudden now he's starting to mix that changeup, and that just gives a hitter another look, and not a good one for Joey Gallo.
Here's Chris Davis. He's 0 for 2, grounded to second and struck out. He's a number 6 hitter in the order, the DH for the Texas Rangers. And the pitch. Fastball's low, 1-0. Line drive and caught on one hop by Urshela across the diamond. They get Davis 2 away here in the 8th.
Well, we'll wait for the replay, but again, I think this was another changeup, and it looked like it was up in the strike zone. Davis gets good wood on it. I'll tell you what, if you want a ball, a tough play, hit it to Urshela.
Up now a very tough hitter, Isaiah Kiner Falefa. He is 0 for 2. Fly ball to right, ground ball to third. There's that great breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Kluber rocks and deals. Line into right field. Right there is Wade, and Kluber is 3 outs away from pitching a no-hitter. We go to the 9th.
Michael, this is getting fun, isn't it?
It's time for the Audi Electric Moment. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer and experience the fully electric Audi e-tron today. And Corey Kluber has been electric all night. And that was the only base runner that walked to Culberson. He's had a breaking ball that they're just flailing at. Very little chance. He has been that good. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, just faced 1 batter over the minimum. He is 3 outs away. 2-4-0 for the Yankees. 3 big zeros on the Texas line. And this is one of those games, Paul, that a pitcher can't get caught up in his own possible accomplishment because it's 2-0. You really need to get every single out.
Yeah, I think that's actually an advantage. You know, if it's a blowout, that's the only thing that consumes your mind, and it's very hard to even play through it. The pitcher, it's all about whether he gets it or not. You're in a 2-0 game. The game is still out there, and that's what you want as a player.
Oh, 1. No one's doing anything but staying in the same spot in the pen. Baseball is a superstitious bunch.
Michael, if I walk the same path between innings, does that count as being superstitious?
It could be.
I'm wearing a path around the couch up here.
Bill Miller, I don't think, has called the check swing yet. So 1-2.
Yeah.
Paul, so obviously the Yankees are batting now. When you take the field in the 9th inning, are there nerves involved?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're thinking of all the plays that can happen. You're thinking of all, you know, the guys that are coming up. You know, do you take a step here? Do you take a step there? You know, everything that you could possibly do as a fielder is going through your mind, obviously.
Chapman's getting ready just in case, because it is a 2-0 game. Here's Aaron Judge. Fly ball, right center. Garcia on the run. 2-away. Time now for a word from the Home Depot.
Join Pro Extra to save time, save money, and get rewarded. Heavy hitters score with the Home Depot's Built for Pros loyalty program.
Two outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Here's Urshela. And there's a strike. Oh, 2. Kluber's highest pitch inning, 15. And he's done that 3 times. He's had 3 single-digit pitch innings. So his pitch count's 93. He's in very good shape going to the bottom of the 9th. And that will do it. And now things are going to get very, very interesting as Corey Kluber will try to pitch himself into the history books while getting the Yankees a victory. And Paul, let's go over his performance. It has been extraordinary in every sense. He's 1 batter away from being perfect through 8 innings.
Yeah, a good fastball, located it well, but his slider was his bread and butter. I literally counted 2 sliders that he hit the middle of the plate with all night. I mean, he has been unhittable with that. He started to work his changeup in a little later in the game. It's been effective. You know, what can you say? He has been dominant, and even when he is pitching behind, he comes in with, you know, pitches on the corner, not hitting the middle of the plate with anything.
Well, he has been that good, obviously, and these are the batters he'll face. The only guy that has got on base is Charlie Culberson. He walked, and that walk came with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Then Jose Trevino, who is 0 for 2 and back to the top of the order. Willie Calhoun will be just the first Texas Ranger to face him 4 times. That's how extraordinary Kluber's performance has been. And the Corey Kluber story is an amazing one, having pitched just 1 inning last year, signing as a free agent with the Yankees for 1 year, $11 million. The Rays and the Red Sox pursued him as well. He's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner out of Stetson University. He is not your typical hard-throwing, dominating pitcher, but Paul, he's the type of pitcher that when he's on, he's dominating without velocity.
Yeah, you could see early in the year he was starting to have, you know, a good slider here and then miss. You know, he has consistency again, and that is what is his. I mean, when you look back at his great years, it was because he was able to consistently throw nasty sliders, and he's done that all night.
Well, first up against the veteran right-hander is Charlie Culberson. And there's a strike. 0-1. Culberson, Trevino, and Calhoun in the bottom of the 9th inning. On 1 hop to LeMahieu. 1 away.
Michael, I'm going to tell you right now, that is not the play you want as a player in a no-hitter. This is an in-between hop. DJ LeMahieu makes it look kind of easy, but I tell you what, that is a tough play to start off the 9th inning.
Kluber's demeanor never betrays what's going on the field. Always looks stoic on the mound. Doesn't show emotion. And David Dahl is going to pinch hit for Jose Trevino. Tried to go backdoor, misses outside, 1-0. So a new batter into the mix here with Dahl. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Again, the changeup where, you know, in a fastball count coming off the bench as a pinch hitter, very hard to adjust to something off speed.
One and two. That one is laced into right field. On the run is Wade. He's there. And they are 1 out away from a no-hitter.
I tell you, Michael, there was one guy that I was going to tell you that I kind of felt sorry for, and it was Tyler Wade. I mean, he's not in his natural position. This ball's hit off the end of the bat just enough where you could misjudge a little bit. I'll tell you, a great jump and a great play.
Well, if you feel what your heart is beating right now watching this, imagine what Kluber's is doing. Kluber against Calhoun. Strike one. Calhoun 0 for 3. Struck out looking, popped to second, ground ball to short. Ground ball to Kluber Torres, and that'll do it. A no-hitter for Corey Kluber on a Wednesday night in Texas. Kluber becomes part of forever. Paul, you've played in 3 perfect games. You almost came within one batter of announcing a perfect game. Corey Kluber tonight was absolutely magnificent.
Phenomenal. I mean, if you look at the pitches he missed tonight, you can count them on one hand. Another slider. This is a good way to end it, and I tell you what, he'll appreciate this more than probably some of those Cy Youngs. So come back where he came from and throw a game, and I guarantee the people in Texas didn't realize that greatness would happen with Corey Kluber in a Yankee uniform instead of a Rangers uniform.
What an amazing performance by Kluber, and Paul has mentioned what this guy has gone through. The shoulder issue, allowing him just to pitch 1 inning last year, and then the last season in Cleveland, the comebacker that essentially broke his arm. The 2 Cy Youngs seem like such a distant memory, but he has achieved greatness on this mound in Texas. Man, oh man, that is just great. He is now part of baseball immortality as he pitches the Yankees' 11th regular season no-hitter, and he was, in a word, brilliant.
First base, high first again.
Meredith, I think you have somebody special.
Corey, 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Up until tonight, you had not thrown. Corey, 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Up until tonight, you had not thrown a no-hitter. Can you just describe the emotion you felt as you watched that final out being recorded in the 9th?
I think it's all kinds of emotions. I mean, I think it's excitement. You know, probably some relief too that it's over with. But I mean, Higgy was unbelievable back there tonight. I think you know, kept him off balance pretty much the entire game. You know, I made a couple pitches that probably weren't where we wanted them, and they were fortunate, or we were fortunate enough that they hit them right at some people.
You mentioned keeping him off balance. Your breaking pitch seemed almost unhittable tonight. What made it so good in your estimation?
You know, I think it probably establishing the other pitches in the zone so that they had to respect that stuff and not just, you know, sit on the one pitch. You know, I think that's probably the key most nights.
We saw you in the dugout in the top of the 9th inning, just staring at the field, waiting to go out there in the bottom of the 9th. What's going through your head in that situation as you're 3 outs away from a no-hitter?
Just trying to make it as normal as possible. I mean, obviously it's not, but just trying to stick with, you know, your normal routine as much as you can, and you know, try not to let the situation get the best of you. I mean, I think that you know, there's going to be situations that probably have a little more adrenaline going than others, and I think you just try to make it as normal as you possibly can.
At what point in time do you start thinking about it?
I'm not sure. You know, I think I was probably aware of it, but I don't know if I really started thinking about it maybe after the 6th, something like that.
Oftentimes, teammates say they try to leave you alone in the dugout. They don't want to distract you. Did anybody say anything to you in that dugout, Corey?
I feel like maybe aside from the last inning, it was pretty normal in there. Higgy and I talk a fair amount after an inning just about, what we saw and things like that. We continue to do that. But, aside from that, I feel like it was just, kind of a normal dugout scenario for when I pitch.
It didn't seem like there were a lot of balls hit hard tonight, but in that 9th inning, when you see the ball go out to right field, does your heart start beating a little faster there as you see Wade trying to track it down?
Yeah, for sure. You're, like I said, you're aware of what's going on. But I think that play is probably magnified even more by the fact that he's an infielder by trait and wasn't out there to start the game, and I feel like he made a couple good plays out there once he ended up out there. So I think it makes him even more impressive.
I know it's fresh. I know it just happened, but what will you remember most about tonight?
I just think it was a lot of fun. I think it was a well played game on both sides. We were able to scratch a couple runs across, and I'm not sure it was the 5th or the 6th, but aside from that, it was a well played game, and it was fun to be a part of.
Corey, I'll let you enjoy it. Congratulations on an absolutely fantastic performance tonight.
Thank you very much.
Michael, we'll send it back over to you.
Well, as he is stoic, straight-faced, he is certainly not celebrating on the field. He'll probably get a little happier in that clubhouse with his teammates, but what you just saw was magnificent. This is a guy, as we mentioned, who has battled so much. 35 years old. Is Corey Kluber back? You bet Corey Kluber's back. He was absolutely brilliant. One walk away from a perfect game, but he'll take the no-hitter and run with it.